Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the BroadBoys podcast. This is a positively spooky episode today. Yes.
You are all gonna lose your anime.
Anime, yes.
And you might be wondering why I bring that up.
Oh, this is a serious thing.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
So, we're gonna dive right in. First off, you look great, by the way.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, for our audio listeners, we are in costume.
Yes.
This is set to release on Halloween, so we figured we get a little festive. See, I couldn't really figure out how to do Belatro as a costume, so I figured this is the close I could get.
It looks great. I knew exactly what you were trying to do.
Thank you. I appreciate it. And that may be because I've talked a lot about Belatro.
I am wearing my favorite era of just like setting.
Victorian?
And that's sort of like Victorian-esque.
Aw, well, good for us.
Yeah.
Ooh, what costume did you have?
Tell us in the comments.
But anyway, why are we losing our anime?
Yes. 2 days ago, Crunchyroll was outed.
Outed.
What for, you might be wondering.
I genuinely don't know.
Several voice actors have come forward and said that Crunchyroll has been withholding fan mail and fan art from them for 5 years.
Fan mail and fan art?
Yes. So what people would do is they would send mail to Crunchyroll that was for the VAs of whatever character, right? That is a felony.
Withholding fan mail?
Well, withholding mail, yes.
Oh, okay. All right.
Yes. So what's been purported they
Okay.
were doing is they were getting the mail and then they were throwing it away.
Ooh.
They wasn't even returning it, wasn't doing anything. They were throwing it away.
Throwing away the fan mail.
Yes.
Oh,
That
how
was supposed to go to VAs.
disgusting.
It is a little disgusting.
I mean, it's just kind of weird. Also, who is sending fan mail to Crunchyroll itself? I mean, I know there are a couple of Crunchyroll made shows,
yeah.
but who's
Well, they're sending them to Crunchyroll because and when a thing is dubbed on a license from Crunchyroll, they're the ones hiring the voice actors to do it.
Oh, okay.
Because Crunchyroll, since like 2008, has been licensing shows from Japan.
Wow.
Fun fact, it used to be a pirating website.
You know, it's done pretty well for itself until now.
Until now. It's not going to go away. I just want to let you know. It's not going anywhere. But they are going to get fined, and there's always a chance that the FTC comes knocking again. Because they were almost blocked when Funimation acquired them.
Yeah, or they got acquired by Crunchyroll.
No, other way around.
Oh, Funimation acquired Crunchyroll?
Yep.
Oh.
Sony owned Funimation, and they were losing to Crunchyroll. And then they paid $1.5 billion to acquire Crunchyroll.
Yes, that is quite the move.
It was quite the move indeed.
Good. That's so devious. So
Yes, very devious. I didn't know Crunchyroll was run by Sony until 2 days ago when I saw the news.
Man, that's why they removed comments.
I can't smile, otherwise my mustache will come off.
Oh, that's okay. You should smile. Be human.
It's gonna fall off. It's not sticking to my real mustache very well.
Oh, well, that's pretty spooky. You know,
It is pretty spooky.
I guess I didn't realize withholding fan mail. How did this get outed?
Well, one VA recently messaged, and he goes, I've been getting a lot of people sending me pictures of the stuff they're sending me, and I want to let you know, I haven't received any of it. And then a bunch of other VAs were like, hey, we've had the same thing happen to us. And basically, now Crunchyroll is being investigated by the post office.
Uh-oh.
I know.
And the post office gets stuff done.
Yeah.
Who knows what the post office will unearth at Crunchyroll?
The fines
HQ.
are actually pretty massive. Like, we're talking millions of dollars in fines and jail time, possibly.
Mail does not mess around.
No.
That's for sure.
Let me tell you, the U.S. Postal Service does not kid.
Wow. That's crazy.
I know.
Well, I doubt we're losing our anime if Sony's involved.
No,
This is a slap on the wrist.
It's probably not going anywhere.
That's a pretty funny story.
It is a funny story.
Like someone didn't send an anime VA like, hey, man, I love your Naruto. .bio and then didn't get it back and complained straight to the post office.
Yep.
What a fun story.
It is a fun story.
Positively spooky, you could say.
Spooky.
Speaking of spooky, Micah,
Yeah.
I believe you are an enjoyer of spooky games, are you not?
I enjoy watching people play
People play spooky games.
Yes.
Really?
Yes.
Interesting. So how do you feel like horror games stack up against other game genres?
I don't know. So I do have an opinion, though. This is where I'm going to go. I don't have a good answer, but I have an answer.
Okay.
Horror games are pretty mid games. But if they bring you fear, then I think they're doing their job well.
Yes. You see, I think, in my opinion, there's like horny games and horror games, right? And they kind of have a similar game plan, right?
Yeah.
To hit a certain button in the human brain, right? And as long as they hit the button, it doesn't matter the quality of the game. As long as it hits that button, preferably multiple times. But some games only do it once.
That is true, yes.
But as long as they hit that button enough, and it's in a recognizable way, it'll pop off, make the creators like lots of money.
I agree. I 100% agree.
So because of this, you get a lot of, how do we say, low budget horror games. Even, now, before it was like, oh, this is a single developer horror game, that gets popular on YouTube for a couple weeks. Now it's like, apparently, and I don't know this for certain, so someone can fact check me, but Roblox is now the horror game hub.
Apparently, yes, I have seen that.
It's it's free.
Yeah, and there's a whole bunch of different games, yeah.
And it's usually multiplayer.
Yeah, and some are pretty dang good. I played Doors last Halloween. It's where you run through a bunch of doors, okay? It's not particularly scary, but it's a puzzle game, and you play with your friends, and it looks great for a Roblox game.
So what's the scariest game you've played then?
Yes.
Oh, this was a Roblox game.
That was a Roblox game.
Okay, good for you, man. Good for you. I have been...
That was not the scariest game I've ever played. But.
Oh, okay. Good answer.
I'm sure it was probably like Outlast was pretty scary.
Outlast 1.
Yes.
Good choice. Good choice. That's quite the game. Outlast 2, very weird.
Yes.
Did you watch someone play that one?
Yes.
That game was weird.
That was weird. Lot of naked peepees.
Yep. And someone gives birth at the end of the movie.
It's a movie.
Yeah, I mean, some of my favorite horror games.
Yes.
I mean, Until Dawn.
Until Dawn's
is a
good.
classic.
I don't know that it's super scary.
Well, it's a fun game.
It's fun.
I give it that. It's a fun game. Definitely unique. In fact, in the way that it's the only game in a genre that I feel like does well. And we talked about this before. PT, not even technically a game. Do you know the story behind PT?
I don't know what PT is.
Ooh, so you know Kojima, right?
Yeah, I know Kojima.
You know Kojima, creator of Metal Gear Solid. He wanted to create a horror game.
Oh, did he?
So he released a demo called PT that was PS4 exclusive. PS4 exclusive,
An exclusive
right?
demo.
An exclusive demo. It funding got pulled eventually, but it was touted as one of the scariest games of its time. It was a game where you go through a repeating hallway and everything's different, and you're getting subtle clues about the house you're in and how some people died, and there's a baby, and then there's a ghost that will scare you, and there's a lot of things that seem like people, but they're coat wrecks.
Interesting.
Very stressful game.
You know what's a really scary game? Metro.
Exodus?
No, the first Metro game was like really scary.
That's not where. Okay,
I would highly recommend playing Metro if you ever get the chance.
Okay.
Like it's.
Well, what makes it so scary?
Well, the story's great first off, but the atmosphere.
That's what makes it so scary.
No.
Oh, the story is scary good.
It is scary good, and the atmosphere is very scary.
Yes.
Because it's like cramped and claustrophobic.
Yes.
But there are a couple, but generally speaking, they don't scare you with cheap jump scares.
Okay.
It's like genuinely good, like horror.
Yeah, that's good.
I think.
I mean, genuinely good horror is I don't know. There's like two different flavors. Because jump scares are like they're flavor and they're fun with friends. That's Lethal Company.
Yes,
that's like a funny game because it's supposed to be scary. I mean, if you play that game alone, I still get jittery if I play that game alone.
That's true. Yeah.
But if I'm with friends and you just hear with the
funny.
voice system from a while away, just like super echoey screams.
I think the art style lends to the fear factor, though.
Yes.
Yeah.
But apparently I haven't played in a long time, but apparently they have updated it with
They
more
have.
creatures.
There's a lot. And new moons and new spook. It's pretty good.
Yes.
I enjoy it.
Another scary game.
Yeah.
I will tell you an anecdote.
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 There
Thank
we
you.
go.
Yes. I talk. As a child, before I had the funds to purchase a game you might know of. It's called Minecraft.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Me and my brother sat down and played the browser version. I wouldn't be surprised if this was a malware
It sounds like
inducer,
it.
but it played, and it was Minecraft nonetheless. So day was great. It was like, oh, I can chop these trees down. Oh, I can build a house. And then it got to nighttime, and it was super spooky. So we made a little dirt hut. And this was just one computer, by the way. So it's me and my brother huddled
Sharing.
over this one screen that I think had like Windows 2006 on it or whatever.
Nice.
And we were like, oh, is it daytime yet? We break one block. Creeper falls into our house. We died because we left the computer. We screamed. We're like, ah! That's what Blake sounded like. I was like, oh,
Yeah. Real manly.
yeah. And then we died because we exploded because Creeper was there. What a riveting story. That's what you come for.
Minecraft is a true horror game.
Yes.
Yes.
Not just because of that, but because of all the content creators. If you're a child,
Beware. Beware your content creator.
yeah, I mean, I feel like horror games. And I say this with the Silent Hill 2 remake coming out and being really good, according to sources. I have not played it.
Yeah.
But apparently it's really good. But I still feel like horror games are cheap, gimmicky games, if that makes sense. Now, obviously, I still have a good time. But,
It's like horror movies. Slasher films are fun.
yeah.
Are they peak cinema? No.
Aw.
No, I'm sorry.
Okay.
I'm sorry.
Okay.
I've seen all the classics too. When people say you need to watch all these classic horror films, they're the bomb. No,
Well, what about The Shining?
The Shining.
Shining's
No,
good.
The
That's a horror
Shining.
movie.
That's a peak movie. I'm thinking when people say you got to watch horror, you got to watch like Friday the 13th. I'm like, I've seen Friday the 13th. I laughed at points that were supposed to be scary.
Oh. Well, the
I
original?
apologize. Yes.
I mean, that's okay. I think you get it past with the older movies. And even the newer ones, there's some funnier moments that I think
Well, I don't know.
supposed to be scary.
There's like horror that's good. I think Alfred Hitchcock is a good example of that. Have you seen The Birds?
Yes, I have. That's like grotesque, though.
It is. It is. I think there's a way to say that grotesque might actually be a better form of horror or psychological horror. I think this sort of I think slasher horror is funny. I can't really get behind slasher horror being scary.
Okay. No, that's fine. I mean, if there's a lot of different kinds of horror. Personally, I think psychological is the best. There are thrillers that have genuinely been more scary to me than horror movies. Was it 10 Cloverfield Lane?
Yep.
Where it's the girl and the two guys in the bunker. That was a scary movie as a thriller,
Yeah.
or maybe not scary, but super intense.
I think 7 is pretty intense.
Is that the found footage movie?
No. 7 is the one where he goes, "What's in the box?
Oh.
What's in the box?" And it's his girlfriend's head. Sorry, spoilers. That's in the box.
Okay, cool. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's horror game versus movie is kind of an interesting dynamic.
Yeah, they've made thriller horror games.
But I feel like they kind of fit into the same box when you think about them generally compared to other genres of the mediums.
Yeah.
But they're kind of very different in their own separate ways.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Obviously, you have the element of playing it in a game versus just...
Well, because you think of Resident Evil, right? There are some goofy Resident Evil games.
Well, let's not think of 4 through 6.
But Resident Evil 7's pretty good.
Yeah. That's a fun one.
Yeah.
I jumped a couple of times while playing that. And, only probably one time is in 8.
I didn't play it, but I watched someone play it, and I jumped watching them play it, which I don't. That doesn't usually happen. So, but there are definitely gameplay aspects where it's just like more frustrating than actually scary. Like you have to solve a puzzle while being chased by a creepy dude.
Yep.
And it's just like, just let me solve the puzzle because I don't care.
Yeah.
FNAF.
Yes. I mean, you want to talk about horror icons.
Joy of Creation 2 is coming out soonish. I
Is that a FNAF
played
game?
the demo.
Is that a FNAF
Yeah,
game?
it's a
okay,
FNAF
thank
game.
you.
It's spooky.
Spooky.
Like
Joy
scary.
Creation. Is that first person one?
No,
Like
so it's a fan project.
oh, these are fan FNAF games.
Yes.
Man, I'm just getting each crumb
And
separately.
it is it's really good.
Okay.
It's really spooky.
I don't equate FNAF games with good.
Okay, the VR FNAF game that's like real.
Yes.
That's spooky.
I can give that game a good.
That's a good game.
I can give that game a good. All right. FNAF, I don't think you can say Five Nights at Freddy's is a good game. I don't think you can say Five Nights at Freddy's has a good fandom. I don't think you can say Five Nights at Freddy's has spawned really anything good except for my friend pissing his pants. And that might be it.
Was he playing the VR one or?
Yeah.
Nice.
But, I'm not like, it's a PNG game, which is fine. I think it does let's see. How do you quantify this? Because, I'm saying it's not good, but it's
Sorry, it's really getting my face.
yeah, Micah just peeled off his fake mustache as over his real mustache.
Yep. You're gonna put that
beautiful.
right there.
Right
There
on
we
the
go.
mic.
Yep.
I don't know. Would you say FNAF is good? I don't think so.
I think FNAF as a middle schooler was really good.
Yeah.
I don't know that I'd go back now and say FNAF is really good.
Yeah. I mean, it had a cultural impact for sure.
It did, yeah.
For sure. I mean, it's probably... Do you think it might be one of the top 10 or like most recognizable game?
I think it might be.
I think it does.
I think it might be. Just like worldwide, it might be.
FNAF is very recognizable.
I'm getting really hot in this coat, too.
Wow, Micah.
We're stripping
I know.
the coat off.
I'm enjoying the show.
Yeah.
Man.
Goodness, sorry, man.
No, you're fine. You're fine. I love it. FNAF... All right, here. Let me just say this. Good for Scott Coffin. Good for Matt Pat.
Markiplier.
All those people. It seemed fun to them.
Yeah. I played as a middle schooler. It was fun. It was scary.
Did you play by yourself?
I did, yeah.
Yeah, see, that's the thing. I wouldn't play by myself and be like, man, this is a good game.
That's fair. That's fair. I mean, for the time,
Especially night 4 and 5, it's so frustrating.
well,
it's more like...
I'm just thinking FNAF 1. I'm not thinking going further than that.
Well, no, like night 4 and 5.
Oh.
Like, it gets so precise with the execution.
Yeah.
That's more frustrating than anything else.
Yeah. No, I hear you.
I'm sorry, guys. I don't think FNAF's that good.
That's fair.
Now, do I judge you for being a FNAF fan? Depends on what your profile picture is. You can like FNAF. That's fine. But when you start talking about Toy Chica...
That's kind of sus, bro.
It's very sus.
Yeah.
Very sus. Yeah, I think we've run our course with FNAF. I think a game I think it's been interesting to see. Call of Duty
6.
Black Ops 6. Yes. Yeah. I know both of us have been getting mixed feelings from people, but in different ways.
Yeah. So everything in my feed has been like, campaign, the story's pretty good, but the gameplay is really duty. The multiplayer, the maps are pretty duty. But then I also saw that zombies is pretty good. People are all like, all these Easter eggs, it's like a return to form. It's like the best zombies since World at War.
World at War.
Sorry, Black Ops 3.
What? Okay. Yeah, no, you're good.
Anyway, yes. Those are the reviews I've been getting.
Okay, yeah, I've been getting like multiplayer. Well, you didn't say anything about multiplayer.
No, I said people thought the multiplayer was good. The maps are just bad.
Yes. What I've been seeing is The campaign is decent, but I never care about the campaign. My priorities do not lie with the campaign. I've heard the multiplayer is really fun. It's just that the spawns suck.
Yeah.
That's what I've heard. But, you know, it's a COD game. I learned to expect that a little bit. But apparently it's worse than normal, which does affect how fun it is. And then zombies, I've been hearing mixed opinions. So the people that I follow, which are more like traditional, they're like, it's all right, I guess.
Yeah.
So am I going to buy it? Maybe. I don't know.
I'm kind of waiting to see. I hope they fix some of the issues because I enjoy a good campaign, especially since they touted this one as being their best. Because it is apparently it's like an 8 to 12 hour campaign, which is longer than their typical 5 or less.
I mean, Modern Warfare 3's campaign was notoriously short.
Yes,
So
and
they made up for it, it seems.
This supposedly blows that out of the water with a number of like glaring issues. I understand their campaign's not why people generally buy it. But if you're going to offer one, it should at least be good,
That's
right?
true. That's true. But I mean, what's the last good shooter campaign?
Battlefield 1. I really liked it. You jumped around the theaters of war.
I guess, yeah. I mean, it's better than the other ones I'm thinking of. Like shooter campaigns are like, I don't know. I've never.
I really liked World at War.
All right, World at War, Black Ops 1.
No Russian.
And then
Which, why am I stupid?
I think I did like Advanced Warfare's campaign, which
Yeah.
is unfortunate for me, but you know, whatever.
Titanfall.
Yeah, that's a good one. Good
Yeah.
example. Definitely not Halo.
No. Well,
Reach was probably the last Halo.
Reach, I really loved. Halo 3.
Oh, but that's like we're talking like 14 years ago.
Halo
at that point.
3, the story is really good. It wraps it up very well. Mass Effect, you play that for the story. There's no there might be multiplayer, but you play it for the story.
Could you say Destiny?
Sorry, Destiny players.
Well, did you play Destiny?
I played Destiny 1.
I played 1 and then 2 at launch.
I didn't
And
get
2 at launch made me stop playing.
I didn't get sucked into 2. It's where millennials go to die.
I've not heard that before. Destiny, huh?
Yeah, Destiny 2. Yeah.
Destiny 2. You know, I played Destiny 1. I enjoyed it a lot. I enjoyed the Taken King immensely.
Yeah, I enjoyed Destiny 1 a lot. I like Warframe.
Now that's crazy.
Yeah.
You like Warframe over Destiny?
Yes, big
That
time.
is crazy to
Big
me.
time. I love Warframe over Destiny.
That's what do you like about Warframe?
The story's goated.
What? Okay,
Yeah.
keep going. Fine.
Yeah. I understand that if you haven't played since somewhere between mid-game life cycle, it's not very new player friendly because they have kept adding content to keep players in the game. So the further down you go, the cooler the game gets. But the opening missions are kind of
I
tough
played
to get through.
within the game's first year. It did not make me want to come back.
Really?
Yeah. It felt like, and I played Destiny and I enjoyed Destiny. So when I say tedious, I think it's tedious. I think it felt very pay to win. At least that
interesting.
First.
No, it's not pay to win. It's people call it fashion frame for a reason. You can pay to style yourself. I would never have called it pay to win.
Maybe it was just my experience and how I
there are
perceived
definitely things to be better. We can go into a little bit of a little dive here.
Sure.
Just quickly.
Yeah. Hit me with.
It is very hard if you don't join a clan.
Okay.
Playing solo is very difficult.
I mean, that's same for Destiny as well.
Yeah.
You know, you got your raids, and if you don't have people to do raids with, and you're too scared to go on a Discord server,
and
it's hard.
it's not even really that there's raids. There's a couple like big missions that you require more people to do. But the Edo and like other building materials you get for free as your clan levels up.
Okay. So it just helps with everything resource wise.
It massively helps. Also, if you're kind of a stickler for using the same weapons, you kind of scale off your growth if you aren't mastering multiple weapons.
Yes. There are different classes in that game.
There are different warframes. You can technically
which have different abilities.
Yes,
right?
but you can technically play them all similarly. but they all have different abilities. So you
need to spend currency to unlock the different warframes, right?
The in-game currency that you can get, yeah.
But you can buy that currency too,
you
right?
can, but generally people don't buy the base models. What they do is they buy the prime models, which are like slightly better in stats, but
so you're paying real money
to
buy
progress.
Slightly better.
They don't do anything in the multiplayer mode, but
okay, because multiplayer mode's balanced or whatever.
Yeah, it's pretty good. I like the multiplayer mode.
Okay,
but you don't play for that. And there's a story. It's a really cool story, and your ship's quirky. It talks to you.
Yeah,
yeah,
that's super cool, man. I don't know. It's like I did not get a good experience when I first played it, so
that's fair.
That's where I'm at.
Yeah,
and it's not on my list at all. It's not even in the realm of me. I'm still on my godlike rotation of Balatro, Metaphor, and Rivals.
Yes.
So I'm probably going to be stuck
I
on
mean,
that.
I'm not getting back into Warframe anytime soon. I got a lot of other things, but...
Yeah, though I am determined that once I beat Metaphor, I'll give Subnautica a second chance.
That's good.
I talked to someone else after our previous episode, and maybe I wasn't exactly fair.
Yeah. I don't think you were, but that's okay. In your rotation, have you played The Witcher 3?
No.
You should put that in there.
Okay, well,
it is worth your time 100%. You can just play it straight
There's
through.
so many games that are like that now.
I know.
Just like, I honestly don't know what I'm going to play next.
I think there are some that you just got to sit down and just say, this is the game I'm going to play for the next, 2 months. And you're just going to get done with it.
You don't do that.
I almost do that.
No, you don't.
I almost do.
You're like, I'm going to play this game, and then you play it for a week.
No, I've been playing...
Have you beat Black Myth Wukong?
No, I'm kind of lazy on the last part.
Mm-hmm.
I just got... I don't want to say I'm tired of it, because I think if I picked it up, I'd play it and enjoy it.
Mm-hmm.
I think just
your other options.
The slog without... Like for instance, Elden Ring, right?
Mm-hmm.
A lot of exploring. It's fun. I think the trouble that I'm having with Black Myth towards the end here is it is just one boss, travel for 3 minutes, another boss. Now, don't get me wrong, the boss fights are phenomenal.
Then what's the problem?
It feels like a slog at this point, getting through the end. Because there's no break to explore or do what Elden Ring does, right? You're tired of fighting bosses. That's fine. Go explore this dungeon.
Okay.
You know?
Okay.
It's not a criticism of the game. It's a criticism of myself not enjoying the core element of the game.
All right, I can accept that. That's fine. I mean, yeah. I mean, when I drop a game, I'm pretty adamant about it. I'm like, I'm dropping it for this reason.
Yeah, I'm not dropping it for any reason. I have every intent to go back and do it. It just wasn't scratching the adventure itch I wanted in the moment.
Okay. That's fine. And isn't that so unfortunate for those games that generally people don't even go back to that?
Yeah,
because it wasn't the right time.
Yeah, because there are a lot of good games that are like that. I think a lot of people dropped
Starfield.
A lot of people dropped Starfield, and for good reason. It didn't get better.
No Man's Sky.
No Man's Sky. There we go.
Oh, that was what you're thinking?
That's what I was thinking of.
Oh, yay.
A lot of people dropped No Man's Sky.
I'm an empath.
And never went back. And I think that's a shame because the game is...
No, that's for good reason.
Well, I think that's a shame because the game is so good now.
No, yes.
It was so good a year after. It's just very unfortunate that everyone who bought it initially were the ones who really got gypped because everyone who waited and then bought it had the time of their lives.
Okay. I mean, that's just not cool, though.
No, I get it.
To the consumer.
No, I get it. But as someone who's played opening day, I think people were really harsh that as an open world game, there was not a whole lot of... it was very much open world, but there wasn't much to do on each world. Mm-hmm. All the core elements were really good, but just wasn't a lot.
I heard empty a lot.
Empty
when the
was
game
a good word.
Launched. And now it's apparently an amazing game.
Oh, it is. There's stuff around every corner.
But should it get another chance?
Yeah, absolutely.
All right. That game in particular should probably get another chance since it's mainly just one guy until it launched.
Yes. The game, here's a controversial opinion. There were a lot of people who said, you need to give Cyberpunk 2077 a new chance, right? Because everyone was disappointed at launch.
Mm-hmm.
The game wasn't bad at launch. It was just not quite what people had hyped it up to be. It was a game that suffered from overhype. I don't think the game was bad. I think everything core element of the game outside of the crashing issues, that is unacceptable.
Well, that was the main. I think that was the main complaint.
A lot of people complained that they're like, all these food vendors and I can't interact with any of them. You know, it was an open world that was meant to feel alive. That people were like, it's not alive.
The reason why it got such bad reviews is because of the technical issues. People couldn't play the game.
But those technical issues were like for a month. It wasn't even long.
But they still launched it that way.
Well, yeah, I mean, I don't know that's necessarily a strike against CD Projekt Red when the whole industry was doing it, but I am just someone who believes that the game outside of that one technical issue.
Yeah,
crashing.
that was not the only technical issue Cyberpunk had.
Crashing. Blanket crashing.
Oh my god. All technical bugs you're lumping into one item.
It's crashing, and that's not good. I think it suffered from overhype. And a rough
You're
launch.
not wrong. You're not wrong that it was overhyped.
Am I just oversimplifying it?
Yeah, I mean, yeah. Yes, obviously. I mean, there's no reason why you should. I feel there's no reason why you should tell a person you need to give that game another chance when they bought it at launch like that. That's just how it is.
Well,
same with No Man's Sky. I mean, that one I'm more inclined to be like, hey, listen, buddy, it was one guy.
No Man's Sky being a live service game gives it a lot more credit. Because it releases in seasons and there's more content all the time. For a game that doesn't really have in-game transactions, like this was just a guy who really wanted it to do well. I think that one really deserves a second chance.
Yeah, and it makes its case by people still playing it, enjoying it, and it just getting more positive reviews over time.
Yep.
Cyberpunk is a good RPG. I'll give it that. It definitely was overhyped.
Yes.
Because people were saying it was going to be like the game of a generation, and it was a pretty standard Western RPG.
Yep.
By my opinion.
Yep. The anime was good.
Yeah, I'd give it that too, and I think that actually helped bounce it back.
I think so.
I think that was.
I think that was the part where people were like, maybe I should give this another try.
Yes.
And then they're like,
or a lot of
the
people
game's actually fun.
A lot of people who didn't even buy the game probably hooked a lot of people that way too. But come on, it's CD Projekt Red. Even if they should be held to a higher standard as a company.
Yeah, I know.
I mean, they got what I feel like they got what they deserved.
No, they got exactly what they deserved. Their stock tanked and a whole bunch of bad things happened. They got exactly what they deserved for it.
Yes.
Yeah,
So,
which is why it's like, they could have just dropped it and left it and never touched it again, right? Moved on to their next project. They didn't. And you got to
No, you can't move on after that. You got to fix it.
Well,
They fix it.
Okay, they could have just corrected the technical issues and left the game.
They made a DLC, but that's about it.
Well, they completely revamped the world before the DLC. Like, there was a free update that you didn't even have to have the DLC for.
Okay, I didn't know about that.
But yeah. Anyway. That's beside the point.
Yeah?
Yeah.
But you think Cyberpunk is, really good?
I would give it... I'd probably give it an 8 out of 10 currently.
8 out of 10?
Yep.
What would I give it? Probably a 6, to be honest.
It's a very mid game then.
It's good. 6 is good.
It's just over half.
Okay, well, no, because you got to think an average game. I see it as a bell curve.
That's fair.
Most games should be average.
Yep.
Even by AAA standards.
That's fair. Most games should be
average.
That's fair.
Everything's an 8 or 9 or whatever. I don't like that.
That's fair. I see, on my bell curve,
everything is on 7. That's your peak.
No. I think my peak is around 6. That's where I'd put a lot of games. It's just the games I care to buy, generally, I have been persuaded because people have said it's really good. Like, I don't go buy a game that people are like, it's a 5, and then play it and be like, yeah, it's a 5.
I do that. I think it's fun.
I think it's fun too when it's a,
And how are you going to get a perspective for what's an actual good game?
When it's a $15 or less game, I'll play something that's a 5. But when it's a $60 game and everyone's like, well, it's kind of mid.
Sure.
I'm not going to blow $60.
That's a fair point. Prices are higher than they've ever been.
Yeah. And so like I'm gonna drop $60 on a Witcher game, but I'm not gonna drop $60 on, I'm trying to think of some mid game that was pretty popular, Skull and Bones. But that's more like a
But you didn't buy that, did you?
No. Oh no.
What's the last game you played that was like you thought was actually mid?
That I spent $60 on, or
yeah. Or not even just $60.
When I bought Sea of Thieves
at launch. I did buy that at launch too. That's a 5 out of 10 game.
That was a 5 out of 10 game.
For sure. Like at launch, 5 out of 10.
I super enjoy that, actually. And I would still only give it a 6. Like, the game isn't better, there's just more content.
Well, the problem with the game
that's
at
why
launch the loop was super fun.
Yeah.
It's just there wasn't enough content.
The loop
to keep
is still
going.
super fun.
Yeah, and
there's a lot more content.
Say it's a 7 now.
I give it a 6.5. I mean, as someone who's played like 400 hours or something in the game, I'd give it like a 6.5. It's super fun, but I don't think it's a great game.
Okay.
It's like someone will pick up every several months and play several hours.
Okay. Numbers are interesting.
Yeah.
I feel like the way that public perception is, if it's under 7, it's bad.
Mm-hmm.
If it's a 7, it's good.
Mm-hmm.
An 8 can go either way.
Mm-hmm.
And if you like the game that got an 8, it's like, oh, this is the worst score ever. Why did you think it sucks? Then if you hate the game, it's like, it got an 8.
See, in my mind, if you give something a 5, it's like, for some people they might enjoy it, some people they might not.
That's how you perceive a 5.
A 6 is like, this is worth buying. If it's a 4, it's like, this probably really
You're not
going to
go buy a 6 out of 10 game.
It depends on who recommends it to me.
Yeah, but if someone's like, yeah, I gave it a 6, and
I just gave Sea of Thieves a 6.5, and I would say, yeah, go buy it, play it.
But if someone was trying to convince you to buy the game and they said it was a 6, you wouldn't buy it.
It depends on the type of game. Once again, like, I would not call this isn't an expensive game, but we were talking about horror games, right? I wouldn't call Lethal Company a 10 out of 10. In fact, as far as a game goes, that's probably in my opinion, it's like a 6. I'm like,
I mean, I can't be mad at it.
No, I can't be mad at it. I think it's worth playing, but it's a 6.
I guess. I mean, multiplayer games are hard because it's about who you're playing with.
Yeah.
If you're a game reviewer, reviewing Lethal Company, and you don't have anyone to play with, you're giving it a 4.
Yeah, exactly.
If you have people you're playing with, which is like the core of the game, you're probably giving it an 8 or 9.
Yeah, I think the moments I've had are like 8 or 9 worthy, right?
Yeah.
Like, probably some of the funnest times I've had. But if I'm just objectively looking at the game, I go, Lethal Company is like a 6 to me.
Which is pretty good for, what was it, like a 21-year-old furry?
Yep, basically.
Yeah. You did a good job.
Yeah, I think so. When I say 6, I think it's worth playing. Probably on sale. Worth playing, though.
Yes. Yeah, I don't know. I feel like people boost their numbers too much. We are in number inflation territory.
No, I know. Like you had said before, it's like 7 is average, but if it's on the lower side of things, you want to give it a 3.
Yeah, you can't. It can't be.
You can't.
The 4 to 6 range is vastly underutilized.
I agree.
And I feel like even for AAA games, you should be comparing it to other AAA games.
Yeah.
You know. For example.
Yeah, for example.
God of War Ragnarok.
Yeah.
Should have gotten a 7.
I agree. But it got a 9.5.
It did.
Yeah.
But it should have gotten a 7.
I agree.
Yeah, I think if we're being honest. I'm sorry, guys. I'm sorry.
No, I agree. It had a decent story. The characters were really good. They were funny, relatable. The gameplay... And so it gets a 7.
Yep.
Yeah.
I'm surprised we agreed on that.
No,
I was ready to.
I don't disagree on that. I think God of War Ragnarok is very overrated.
God of War 2018 I think was a lot better, specifically because
the speech,
in my opinion, less cutscenes. In my opinion, well, I mean, come on, God of War is literally like.
No, I know.
There's like, oh, I love the gameplay, and even if you do love the gameplay, it's like you're listening to a talking head and your son for 20 minutes in between. Just like, oh, no, it's the character development. It's great. Oh, he smiles. You don't understand. It's like, okay, bud. It's 20 minutes in between each fight.
You know what game I think does it really well? Between cutscenes and gameplay? Red Dead Redemption 2.
Okay.
I think it does it very well. I think if you played it, you would watch the characters. You might even shed a tear for them. And then the gameplay's freaking fun.
Well, I can't even compare those games because isn't Red Dead like more like GTA than God of War?
I mean, more than God of War.
More than God of War. It's like it's open. You go to all these things. It's a big RPG thing.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's different.
Yeah.
I wouldn't even throw them in the same.
Okay.
Same line.
The Last of Us 2 is more like God of War.
Yes. Okay. And then what's your opinion?
I think Last of Us 2 is a great game.
Over God of War Ragnarok?
Yeah, absolutely. But I think Last of Us 2 got a lower rating.
No.
You sure?
From audience, yes. From critics, no.
I thought critics gave it like
No, critics loved it, and then audience hated it. There's outrage when it
Well,
got
I
Game
know
of
the
Year.
audience hated it. I loved it. So get over yourselves. He dies, unfortunate. Beside the point.
Yep. Not going to go in on that.
I still think God of War Ragnarok was rated higher, if I'm not mistaken, but I could be wrong.
Yes, it probably was.
Yeah.
Or it was on par.
Yeah.
Which I can't. I'm
Anyway.
not even going to. I'm
Anyway.
going to get into too much trouble.
There's a bit of a tangent. Bell curve. Most games should be mid. Everything off of that.
And people shouldn't. It's really the audience's fault.
It is.
If you see a 5, it should be like what you said. Hey, if you like these
type of
elements,
game, yeah.
you're gonna like it. If you're not really into it, that's what it is.
Yep.
Like Frostpunk, for example.
Yeah.
For me, it was a 5 because I can understand. Just like, the game looks cool.
Yeah.
It has a cool theme and it's very atmospheric and it's very cohesive within itself. Not for me.
Yep.
But I'm also, not privy to the genre.
And Frostpunk, I'd give a 9.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But, I still understand. And I'm like, hey, it's a 5 for me. But, hey, it's, I have friends who would be like, hey, it's your type of game.
Yep.
You'd like it. It's a 5 for me. My friend was watching me play Balatro. And he's like, this is just number go up. And I'm like, yeah, but, you just got to play it. He's like, yeah, but it looks like a 5. I'm like, that's okay. Just dressed up like poker dealer.
Yeah.
I'd give it.
There's a similar game. I can't. What do you think about that? There's a similar game. I can't remember what it's called, but it's the exact same concept as Balatro, but it's for blackjack. Where you deck builder, but you're trying to get to 21 instead of poker.
I just don't think it'll have the sauce like Balatro. I'm sorry.
I don't know. I'm tempted to buy it for you just to have you try it.
Yeah, compare and contrast. Yeah. I'd be down to take a look. I think I'd give Balatro a 9.
Yeah.
I've
seen a lot of people give it a 10, just straight up.
Yes, I mean, what that one list we were talking about gave it like top 10 of games of all time. That seems crazy to me personally. I do love it. Don't get me wrong. I did run did a run today.
Yeah,
and I won. But
nice.
Yes, it's. Oh man, I might actually give it a 10 because I'm literally trying to think of anything as like, oh, this could be better.
Yeah,
I don't think there's anything about the game that could be better. The guy that made it just did a big update.
Yeah,
he didn't change the balance at all. He's like, hey, here's more card skins.
That's nice.
That's the big update. People are like, yes, Balatro, big update. I'm gonna play Balatro for 50 more hours because they had a Slay the Spire and Binding of Isaac collab.
Yeah, and that's kind of cool. That's
kind of
cool.
Super cool. It is super cool.
Should I play Balatro?
It might be a bit dangerous.
Okay,
but
noted.
Yes, you should. All right, it's like you should just maybe watch me play a run. my friend who was like, oh, he watched me play run and then he already bought it.
Yeah.
So, and now his life is on a new path, which I don't know is a good thing or not. My life's on a new path. So, pick and choose your battles, man.
I guess I might have to do it.
Yeah. You don't need to buy it or anything.
No. I do if we want to play it at the same time.
I guess, but I would let you play Velatro and just.
That's fair.
But yes, Velatro, very nice. I think I would give it a 10 out of 10. Yeah. After considering, though, I will say, my 10 out of 10s are probably. I think you need to understand what my 10 out of 10 means. Is that the game doesn't need anything else.
Yeah.
You don't like it. There's nothing that needs
has
to change.
the sauce.
It has the sauce factor is super important. Don't get me wrong, but I don't. If I'm like, oh, I think this needs to be changed, I'll probably give it a 9. But my 10 out of 10 games, for example, like we were talking about a couple episodes ago, Kid Icarus Uprising. The only thing that needs to change is that there needs to be a port or a remake or something like that because it's good.
Sorry, I just had a thought of another 10 out of 10 game in my mind.
Great, go for it.
Cuphead.
Yeah, honestly.
Cuphead is a 10 out of 10 game.
What do you change about Cuphead?
Nothing. The music's phenomenal. The bosses are phenomenal.
Gameplay's great. The challenges you can do. I did it all. I played through the game like 3 times. Got all P ranks or whatever. That was sick.
And you know what game is in the same sphere that I would give like an 8? It's I just had the name tip of my tongue and now it's gone. Battle Block Theater. There we go.
Battle Block Theater as an 8.
I would give it an 8. And you know why?
Why?
Because I think the gameplay's perfect, the co-op perfect, the music loops too soon, and I get tired of it super quickly.
Okay.
And that's
the main reason?
Yeah, because I can't play it for more than an hour and a half before it itches at the back of my brain because I heard the same song 5-6 times now.
You should just beat the level faster.
Every level has the same music.
No, what are you talking about?
You jump into the level, for the entire zone, for all whatever 10 levels you have.
You are wrong.
It all starts with I would sing it, but I can't.
You are wrong. There's different songs for each level.
All have
it's a random. They just choose a random song out of the list.
It starts with the, you can't do it.
Dude, Battle Block Theater is great. I mean, I'd give that one.
I like the game.
What would I change about it? I don't know. I think there needs to be more diversity in the traps.
Yes, the traps are very similar.
So I'd give it a 9.
I give it an 8. But
does that mean a 10 out of 10 is a flawless game?
No.
Does it mean that a 10 out of 10 has everything? No. Katamari Damacy gets a 10 out of 10 from me.
Yeah.
Because it does what it's trying to do perfectly. I don't think it needs to change anything about itself.
I think that's what makes a game 10 out of 10 is it does what it sets out to do flawlessly.
And I feel like the criteria is not that, at least in, publishing.
No, not in publishing.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like movies though, right? You could make a 10-minute film with a black screen and set out to do that. And by definition, you've made a perfect film in the black screen category.
Yeah.
So I can understand.
That's kind of a stupid example.
No, it's an extreme version of the point I'm trying to make.
Yes. Is that the intention doesn't necessarily always matter.
Exactly.
Which is a fair opinion to have. But generally what I see with a lot of these games is that the intention is also to be fun.
You know, the second most popular game on Steam right now is called Banana. You know what it is?
A banana?
It's a cookie clicker game.
With bananas.
Except it's a Bitcoin miner in the background.
Hey! Now that will get me going, bro.
And
it's like I need a...
Only lose... there's nothing else to it. You click a banana, there's a single number. So it's a banana on your screen. You click it, and a single white number on a yellow background goes from 1... 2, 3, whatever, but it runs a Bitcoin miner.
Why is this number 2 on Steam right now?
Because it runs a Bitcoin miner, and everyone passively has it open on their computers.
Oh, it mines Bitcoin for you.
I have no idea why so many people are using it, but it is second most played game on Steam.
But because it's being run by 100,000 computers run by 5 guys.
I mean, maybe.
That's what's
it's
going on.
It's like literally second to CSGO.
That I wouldn't count that as anything, man. That's
It's just more of a comedic thing.
Yes, yeah.
Throw it in there, laugh track, ha ha ha, banana. Games of 2013.
You really didn't want me to talk again about that.
No.
Sure, yeah. Games of 2013. Oh my goodness. 2013. The Wii U came out this year.
Yes.
The Wii U
That thing.
did not do good.
No.
I can tell you that.
It didn't.
As someone who enjoys Nintendo, that was a painful time.
So there's a great list of games. BioShock Infinite. The Last of Us, Grand Theft Auto 5, Assassin's Creed 4 Black Flag, Beyond Two Souls, Injustice, Gods Among Us, Saint Row 4, Tomb Raider, The Stanley Parable, Battlefield 4, Metro Last Light, Rayman Legends, Devil May Cry, DMC, Devil May Cry.
Yeah.
Batman Arkham Origins, one of the best ones in my opinion.
I like Arkham Origins.
Lego Marvel Superheroes. Tom Clancy's Splinter Cell Blacklist. Outlast, we were just talking about that. Call of Duty Ghosts. Super Mario 3D World. Legend of Zelda A Link Between Worlds. Dead Space 3. Got a remaster. Pretty good. Pokemon X and Y. Dead Rising 3. Payday 2. I played a lot of Payday 2.
Payday 2 is a heavy hitter.
Brothers, A Tale of Two Sons.
I have heard of that one.
Dota 2 came out. Batman Arkham Origins Blackgate. It's just, yeah.
Wow.
Final Fantasy 14.
Oh, no.
Disney Infinity. Crisis 3. We're going to keep naming really good ones. Europa Universalis 4. Gran Turismo 6. Windwalker HD. Scribblenauts, and Tensai 4.
We're ending with Scribblenauts on that one.
Tensai 4, we can throw that on there.
All right, cool. Man, I already know which games I like the most out of this list.
Yeah, well, it was pretty unanimous which game won this year.
Yes, and it was GTA 5.
No,
Last of Us.
Yep, there you go. It was Last of Us.
Man, I'm sorry. That hurts me. Over GTA 5.
I love The Last of Us.
No, I think The Last of Us is great. I think you can say that game is a 9 out of 10, 10 out of 10 by most people, I'm sure. Over GTA 5 seems a little crazy to me.
Yeah.
Personally.
I love Saints Row 4, by the way.
It's a great game. I loved Injustice 1. And, it's the funny thing about that game is that it was very jank. It was a NetherRealm game, and they gave characters full screen projectiles, in which you ruined a lot of kids' days. And they added Scorpion with his teleport move. And the whole thing about Scorpion's teleport move is that it was in a game where all you need to block was to hold down or the block button.
Yeah.
Injustice, there was no block button, so you had to switch what direction you were facing to block, and it did not go well.
Nice.
So that was short-sighted on their end.
I love Metro Last Light. I love the Stanley Parable. Battlefield 4 would be what most people consider to be a best Battlefield game.
It's a great game.
Yeah.
You just got to give it up for Battlefield 4.
I know. Assassin's Creed 4 Black Flag.
Another great game.
Favorite Assassin's Creed game.
Mine as well.
Definitely not a game of the year.
We talk about Assassin's Creed so much, but honestly, it's not like even my top 20 series
I know,
of all time.
I know. It's not. It's absolutely not. But it's just so iconic.
It's so easy to see the downfall and point it out, and it's just
like Assassin's Creed 1, 2, 3, and 4.
See, now we're talking about Assassin's Creed again.
That's because I think it's just such a good series and a good concept.
How can you say it's a good series when over half the games suck?
Recently.
Don't say recent. That's the best game. That's the last good game that came out, and it was 2013.
Syndicate came out in 2016. I like that one.
You're not, and I liked Unity, man. Does that mean
Unity
is good? Yeah.
No, Unity's bad.
Okay, yay, great. So we agree.
Anyway,
Black Flag.
since 2016,
2013,
there hasn't been any good ones.
2013.
2013 was the last peak Assassin's Creed game.
That yes,
Yeah.
agree.
Anyway, other ones.
Yes. All right. Here. All right.
Yeah.
In terms of, I don't want to give my answer. I know my answer.
Yeah.
And if you might remember what it might be, but Stanley Parable,
Yes.
unfortunately, clears a lot of these games for me personally. Even though
I think the Stanley Parable is a 10 out of games.
yeah, it does. It definitely does what it sets out to do. And I loved the sequel, and I loved everything about it. Would I call it a game though?
It's
No.
an experience.
I'd say it's a book about a game, but it's a game.
It's
a meta commentary on video games.
It's a book you walk through.
Yeah. It's a choose your own adventure book
Yeah.
as a game,
Yeah.
but it's not really a game. So I wouldn't even say it like really contends with game of the year. And I think most people would agree.
I think most people agree.
If people thought I was going to choose a Stanley Parable, don't worry. I'm not. I'm choosing a different game you won't like.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
So Stanley Parable is great.
Yep.
Battlefield 4 I love.
Yep.
Honestly, it's up there. It might even be in the top 3 of this year for me.
BioShock Infinite is so good, too.
Nope, don't like it.
Ah.
And I love BioShock 1 and 2.
Nar.
Sorry.
Okay. So I say BioShock Infinite's like one of my favorite BioShocks.
But okay. I don't know. I think you can't beat 1.
It's iconic because it's the first BioShock I played.
That's why it's iconic.
Yeah.
It is also iconic for another reason. It definitely develops some other things. So that's good. Well, not good, but
I don't know what you're alluding to.
that's okay.
Okay.
You think BioShock Infinite's one of the better BioShocks?
It's the first one I played, and
That's
I
no
loved
excuse.
it a lot.
That's no excuse.
And frankly, I just don't remember BioShock 1.
Man, that's crazy.
Just
BioShock
saying.
1 is a masterpiece.
Just saying.
Okay. Well, that distracted me. Didn't Animal Crossing New Leaf come out this year too? I have a feeling it did.
Animal Crossing.
He's typing. Battlefield 1 is not 1. Battlefield 4 is great. Last of Us is great.
Leaf.
Assassin's Creed 4 is great. Not in my personal list.
2013 in the U.S. Was
Great.
it? It was 2012 in
Japan.
Japan.
Yeah. Anyway, 2013 Animal Crossing New Leaf, great 3DS game. A lot of good 3DS games. I'll just say my personal pick. I bet you're gonna say Last of Us if I had to guess. Already said.
I'm torn between GTA 5.
I mean, if I'm honest, GTA 5 should probably win.
Yeah, I think.
But in terms of the best game on that list,
yeah.
for me, it's Zelda: Link Between Worlds.
Okay.
But, I get the scoffs, I get the laughs. It's my top 10 games of all time.
I mean, I'm just trying to think if I would even put it up there.
No, that's okay. I mean, I imagine you haven't played it, so it's hard to just...
Definitely not recently. Yeah.
But I mean, it's hard to be like, oh, this top-down Zelda game is game of the year.
I know.
It's hard to think that.
I think, here's my personal opinion. I think GTA 5 was snubbed for... I know it's not political reasons, but that's all I'm thinking. Because of all the media bias it got.
Yes, it did cause quite the uproar among concerned parents who let their child buy a rated M game.
Oh, yes.
With lap dances.
Yes. Violence. It leads your children to steal cars and kill innocents on the streets.
Yes, in the rated M game you let them buy.
This was like one of the first games that mainstream made people go like, games make you violent.
Games make you violent.
Yeah.
No, games just make people depressed now.
It was a bunch of boomers when they were younger being like, you millennials are becoming way too violent and we don't like this new technology thing.
Yeah?
Yeah.
I'm not the opposition here.
I know.
I'm not going to oppose that.
Boomers.
Thanks for watching.
You own all our homes.
Okay. Wow, we're talking about GTA.
You're the reason I can't buy a home, so I'm going to drive a car in my fake video game and run over someone on the street.
What a
and
great
you can
way.
hate that from your living room.
Man, did you ever watch the old React channel? Yeah, like the React channel, and it's like the old people playing it. It's the woman like being like, "Why do people play this game?
Yeah.
It's so violent." And then it's the old guy who accidentally punches a woman, and then just like,
Yes.
oh my gosh, I love that clip so much. Oh my
So
goodness,
good. It's so good.
it's beautiful, beautiful. But if I'm being honest, GTA 5 probably wins.
Yeah.
But my personal best game that definitely is underrated is Link Between Worlds.
That's fair. That's fair.
I enjoyed Pokemon X and Y too, but it had its issues. And I wouldn't say a Pokemon game would ever be Game of the Year besides... No, not even any of those games. So I don't think a Pokemon game would be Game of the Year.
Yeah. Anyway, GTA 5 beats out The Last of Us. It was snubbed. And this was our Halloween episode. Stay spooky out there.
Yeah, stay spooky. Thank you for watching all the way to the end.
Goodbye.